Single Dad was just in seat 12F, until his call sign made the F-22 pilot stand at attention. The transport shuttle Meridian hummed quietly through the void between Mars Colony 7 and the Terran Defense Station, carrying its usual cargo of miners, researchers, and bureaucrats heading home after their rotations. In seat 12F, Marcus Chen bounced his 4-year-old daughter Liana on his knee, her dark eyes wide with wonder as she pressed her face against the viewport. "Daddy, look. The ships are so tiny," she whispered, pointing at the distant specks of patrol vessels. Marcus smiled, adjusting her pink butterfly clips that had come loose during their 3-day journey. "They're not tiny, sweetheart. We're just really far away." The other passengers paid them no attention. To them, Marcus was just another single father in worn civilian clothes, probably a mining engineer or atmospheric processor tech heading back to Earth. His calloused hands and tired eyes told the common story of colonial life. Hard work, long separations, and the constant struggle to provide for family. Captain Torres made the standard announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching Terran Defense Station Olympus. All passengers please prepare for docking procedures." Through the viewport, the massive station grew larger, its gleaming hull bristling with defensive arrays and docking bays. Liana gasped as sleek F-22 Raptors, the latest space-capable variants, swept past in formation, their engines painting brief stars across the darkness. "Military escort," Marcus explained quietly. "Just standard procedure." What he didn't mention was how his pulse quickened at the sight of those fighters, how muscle memory made his hands unconsciously grip an imaginary stick. Some things were better left in the past. The docking went smoothly until the proximity alarms began shrieking. "Unknown contacts," the captain's voice crackled over the comm, no longer calm. "Multiple bogies inbound, hostile configuration." Through the viewports, passengers screamed as massive alien vessels decloaked, Vectari destroyers, their organic hulls pulsing with bioluminescent weapon arrays. The aliens had found humanity's outer defense perimeter. The F-22 squadron moved to intercept, but Marcus could see immediately they were outmatched. The lead Vectari ship was easily 3 times larger than anything in human space, and there were 6 of them. "Daddy, I'm scared," Liana whispered, burying her face against his chest. Marcus held her tight, his mind racing. The defense stations, guns were opening fire, brilliant lances of energy splitting the darkness, but the Vectari ships absorbed the hits with barely a flicker. One of the F-22s exploded in a ball of plasma, then another. The shuttle captain was shouting into his comm. "Mayday, mayday. Civilian transport Meridian requesting immediate assistance. We have families aboard." Static answered him. The defense station was falling back, its massive bulk maneuvering desperately to avoid the alien weapons. More fighters died in brilliant flashes. Marcus closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of every decision he'd ever made. He thought of the oath he'd taken 20 years ago, of the friends who'd died under his command, of the reasons he'd walked away from it all. Then he looked down at Liana's terrified face and made his choice. "Stay here, baby girl," he whispered, settling her into the seat. "Daddy has to talk to the captain." Marcus made his way forward through the panicking passengers, his walk changing, subtly, spine straighter, shoulders back, eyes hard. The frightened civilian was disappearing, replaced by something else entirely. "Captain," he said quietly as he reached the cockpit. "Not now, sir. I'm trying to get me on the military frequency. Channel 77 Alpha." Captain Torres turned, about to snap at the presumptuous passenger, but stopped. Something in Marcus's voice had changed, a tone of absolute authority that made seasoned spacers listen without question. "I said get me on 77 Alpha. Now." Torres's hands moved to the comm controls without conscious thought. "You're live." Marcus took the handset, and when he spoke, his voice carried across every military frequency in the sector. "All Terran Defense Forces, this is Valkyrie. Authentication code Tango 779er Alpha. I am taking operational command." The effect was instantaneous. On every bridge and every cockpit, hardened military personnel froze. Valkyrie. The call sign was Legend, the man who'd held the line at Proxima Station, who'd led the counterattack at Titan, who'd disappeared after the Battle of Europa where he'd somehow turned a massacre into humanity's greatest victory. Valkyrie, this is Defense Station Olympus, came the stunned reply. Sir, we thought you were... I'm here, Commander. What's your tactical assessment? Sir, we're looking at 6 Vectari destroyers, heavy class. We've lost 40% of our fighter screen. Station weapons are having minimal effect on their bioarmor. We're not going to make it, sir. Marcus closed his eyes, his mind already processing attack vectors, weapon capabilities, fleet positioning. The old patterns coming back like riding a bicycle. Negative, Olympus. Here's what we're going to do. All remaining F-22s, form up on my mark. I want a Delta formation. Approach Vector 7 Mark 15. Sir, you're on a civilian transport. I'm exactly where I need to be. Trust me, people. Formation. 7-7 Charlie. Execute on my command. Through the viewport, Marcus watched the scattered human forces begin to coalesce. The F-22 pilots, men and women who'd grown up hearing stories of Valkyrie's impossible victories, moved with newfound precision. Olympus, I need you to channel all defensive power to forward shields and prepare for ramming speed on the lead destroyer. Sir, that's suicide. No, Commander. That's how we win. All fighters, when Olympus begins her run, you punch through the gap in their formation. Target their weapon nodes, not their hulls. Bioarmor regenerates, but their neural clusters don't. Marcus continued calling out movements, positioning, timing, orchestrating a battle from a passenger seat while his daughter slept fitfully beside him. He guided the human forces like a conductor with a symphony, turning chaos into deadly precision. The Vectari, expecting easy prey, found themselves facing something they'd never encountered. Human tactics refined by 20 years of border wars, led by the man who'd written the book on asymmetric space combat. When the last alien destroyer finally limped away into hyperspace, the comm channels erupted in cheers. But Marcus had already switched off the radio and returned to his seat, gathering Liana into his arms as she woke. Did the bad ships go away? Daddy? Yes, sweetheart, they went away. Later, as the shuttle docked at Olympus Station, Marcus could see the honor guard waiting. Dress uniforms, formal ceremonies, probably medal presentations. Everything he'd spent 6 years avoiding. He picked up Liana and headed for the back exit. Sir, Captain Torres called after him. They're waiting for you. Marcus paused at the airlock, Liana drowsy against his shoulder. Captain, as far as anyone knows, Valkyrie was never on this ship. There was just a civilian in seat 12F who got lucky with the comm system. But sir, the authentication codes, the tactical brilliance? Sometimes, Marcus said quietly. The best heroes are the ones who go home to their families. As the airlock cycled, father and daughter disappeared into the crowded corridors of the station, just another family, among thousands. Behind them, the F-22 pilots were still trying to explain to their commanders how a ghost had saved them all. But in seat 12F of the passenger manifest, there was only the name Marcus Chen, mining engineer, traveling with one dependent. Some legends, after all, were better left as whispers in the dark between stars.